Welcome to Voices We Long For. This is episode 2, and our topic is about social media. And I again have the privilege of inviting my friend Josh to come up and have a discussion about this big topic that we have that's going on around the entire world. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hello guys, welcome to Voices We Long For. My name is Benison, and I'm here with
Josh.
And we're really excited to just talk about some things that we've honestly been discussing prior to all of this, and we just have some thoughts on our minds, and we have some things that we're excited to just share and just discuss throughout what's happening, and honestly just see what Jesus has for us and what he has planned for this.
Amen. We're going to talk about specifically social media and expectations today. The expectations that come with social media, and it's been something that's been on our heart a lot. We've been talking about it, thinking about it, and it's been pretty influential in today's world, I think.
Absolutely.
So just to get started, like, what do you feel about social media? Like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the first thing that I think of when it comes to social media is like doom scrolling, and just like social media addiction, social media influences, the way that people really see what social media is like and what it does for us. I mean, the age range that is accessible to people is from both like the youngest generation, the children's, all the way to like adults and even elderlies at this point. It reaches such a big span, and I really want to kind of like just talk about like just the effects and also the influence it has is on the younger generation, the people that are developing their brain. And truthfully, even me and you, we're still developing. We're actually still in the phase of developing, even though we are much older than some.
We're not that old.
Kids. True. But yeah, like social media is such a broad thing, and there's a lot of things to cover.
I think that one thing that really has been speaking to my heart is that every single person that I've met, every single person that I feel like we've both met, is so hyperfixated on the idea of their image, their reputation, their pride. It's so hard as a human to navigate pride. It's so easy to fall into the trap of, I want to look this way, I want to be presented this way, I want to be perceived this way. And since we all have this innate feeling in our hearts to show up and to be seen, it's so easy to just fall into that trap. I think that social media curates it so perfectly that you just have to present yourself publicly as this person who, you know, does this, does that. This is my achievement. And you're identified based off of the things that you've accomplished and that you do versus just your character. And I think even that's easy to fake online.
Yeah.
And I think it sets a false precedent for every single person who's trying to become anything, to grow up in this world. Even for people our age, like we're about to go into the workforce full time technically.
Right.
And for us, the standard is completely different to what the standard was 5 years ago. I think that there's a false pretense that we need to operate and be a certain way, and we have to achieve a certain thing by this certain age. And social media, with the increased amount of people who are posting about their success lives, and they're not really talking about how they failed and what they went through, it's changing the narrative for people. Yeah. So I think that's like a big thing that we suffer from too, like the comparison thing. And I think that goes into the expectation part.
Yeah. I mean, like, even the biggest people, even the smallest people, like what you see is almost like a complete rounded of perfection in this world. And like for me, like I'm a musician, and so like really looking into the space of music producing and making stuff and recording and influential factors like that, it like really just shows that like you only see a good image, and the way that people perceive that is, oh, I should do things to perfection. I should do things the way that these people, these very big names, these higher ups, these people who have seen success, they didn't ever go through any suffering or anything struggles. And because of that, it's like the kids that grow up, they're like, oh man, I can't fail school, I can't struggle, I have to study hard, I have to do this. And like when they do, when they get results back and it's not the results that they hoped or the ones that they were expecting, it really just like hits them because they're just like, oh, what did I do wrong? Am I not good enough? Am I up to the standard of the world? Right? And like social media really paints the picture that you should be at that standard. You should be where these high people, these influential people, these famous people are, so that you know you can see success. But there's so many ways that success is determined, and there's so many factors that are involved in that, and that also goes back into expectations. Where are we putting our expectation is like where are we leading expectation in?
I think a lot of parents are also being affected. Raising kids in this day and age with social media is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you can teach your kid every good thing, you can teach them everything in terms of manners, but they can go online one day for 10 minutes and be completely changed. And I think that's why so many people our age, so many people younger, whoever really uses social media is so heavily affected by the distraction of it and the procrastination. And there's even like science and research done on the fact that we put so much attention into social media that it becomes like our bonding. So we bond with social media. We get that dopamine from there. But then when we go and interact with other people, it's never going to be as interesting as the curated, data-driven, emotional connection you have with your phone. And now people are complaining that they don't feel like they belong. They don't feel like they're connected. And it's ruining the human experience that Jesus designed for us. And as a Christian, that means an entirely different thing. It means that now we're falling so far away from God because we're falling in that expectation of the world, which is what social media presents us so optimally. I do think that if people were to, like Christians in particular, were to turn to education, even people of the world, if they were to turn the narrative of social media from comparison to, hey, let me help everyone get better and increase and improve, the education standpoint could be awesome. I think it'd be a great resource for people to learn new things. And it is for a lot of people. But it's become such a distraction. It becomes such a heavy thing on their hearts that they regret doing. It's an indulgence. And I think that just takes away any good that it can do for those people. And that's really painful to watch. It's really painful to see.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone? Like as someone who's gone through that and who's currently going through that, do you have like, what's your go-to way of kind of getting away from social media or changing the way that you approach it?
Yeah. Honestly, I was never really like a big fan of social media as a whole. But definitely something for me that gets me at least off social media for me is I actually use like screen locks. So ways that it actually disconnects me from social media. And the one that I use, at least, it doesn't have like it doesn't give me notifications. So I don't get notifications if people send messages, and it's only something where if I really need to check something or I need to reply to someone, then I would do that. But I've also heard that it doesn't work for a lot of people because it's like they can always unlock it whenever they feel like it. And truthfully, for a lot of like people, they have like Instagram or TikTok are like their main ways of contacting people or even connecting with others. So through that, it's like there's kind of the struggle between that pull. But honestly, I think just intentionally taking time, or even like asking yourself before you go on social media, and just ask yourself, it's like, okay, like what can I do, maybe either to stop going on there or maybe even avoid social media as much as possible, or what can I do in this space that I'm going to go on social media? Like, is there work that you have to be that is needs to be done? Is there things that you hope that you could do more? Maybe it's just something you can learn. If you like reading, you can read. I mean, there's even ebooks. Like if you're on your phone, like have an app that allows you to read more and study more. I mean, there's so many opportunities, so many other options that can also excite our mind, excite our like our interest in things. It doesn't just have to be kind of just lying in your bed and getting yourself and just listening or watching and in a sense rotting away in your bed. And for those who like lie in your bed and just scroll, like don't. It really is a big factor where like when you're in your bed, when you're just lying, it actually just forces you in this mode of where you're just focused on like your phone and there's nothing else. Like maybe get up, walk around, get some water, get some snacks, chew on that, you know?
I
What do you
also think
think?
like
Yeah.
yeah, I think it takes away from people living their life.
Mm.
I think they watch people live their lives online and they live vicariously through them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no longer the same drive to go experience those things themselves
Right.
because they've already seen it, they've already watched it, they feel like they've already been there.
Mm.
And then it just becomes this empty feeling of why am I here?
Mm.
So like another thing I wanted to ask is, do you personally have any like personal, like practical steps for someone who's like really struggling with that?
Mm.
Like if you, let's say it's like you 3 years ago and you're like
Okay.
struggling with social media, what are you saying to that person?
Yeah. Um, honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is just have an accountability. Have someone that you are who you're close with, someone that you can kind of just talk to and let them know that, hey, I want to try lessening my time on social media. It doesn't even have to start from, all right, I'm going to stop social media. Like it can truthfully just start from slowly distancing away, creating spaces, creating pockets where you could just intentionally just have a rest and step away from social media. Um, and that friend can kind of be there as a accountability. And you can even kind of see if they're online or if you're online, if they see you online, you can kind of just point it up like, hey, I thought you were going to take like a 30-minute break or something. But I think a lot of the times when we think of addictions and stuff like that, we're always expecting it to be like an instant change. And especially like bring it back to like God and sin and addiction and all these things. We expect that like, when we pray, we repent, all these things, it's going to be like an instantaneous like change in our lives and it's going to be completely renewed. And truthfully, it happens. There are miracles where God works in those spaces. But at the same time, I also believe that within the space of transformation and change, you gotta also allow space and time for God to just work in that and be willing to change, be willing to just step in that space, step into uncomfortableness, to just work and to get out of that.
You think that comes from stillness?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
intentionally just giving yourself more time. Yeah.
I think that a lot of the viewers could probably resonate with that.
Mm.
I think stillness is a hard thing to navigate. And for anyone watching out there, if you're really struggling with procrastination and social media and the expectations that come with it, I would look for stillness. If you're a Christian, go to God, like go to Christ and really pursue a relationship with Him in that stillness and prayer. If you're not a Christian, I'd recommend trying. Try the prayer life. Even if you don't believe in it, just go in a moment of silence and ask Jesus genuinely to do something in your life. Because what's the worst that could happen? I think it's really special. I was a skeptic. I was someone who never really thought Jesus could do that for me, to heal me, to help me. And it wasn't until I just tried, even in my disbelief, to see what He would do with my panic. And for you scientists out there, you might think it's placebo or whatever, but try it. Like I really, really implore you and encourage you to try it, because you never know what you might find, and it's better to have tried and realize otherwise than to miss out on something incredible. For the viewers out there who are really going through it, really struggling, this conversation is meant to be a little window into us and how we interact with each other and God as young people, as people getting into the world. It's also meant to be an encouragement for you. It's not every day that you get to talk to people who are older than you, younger than you, about God, about these worldly issues. And it can be really easy to feel like you're alone. If you feel like you're alone, we're here. That's what this podcast is for.
If you guys are alone, just remember that you're not alone. That this community, that this podcast is meant to be a community, a space where we want to welcome you guys in as well, and welcome into a bit of a, like, what does our Christian lives look like, and what does it look like to struggle in faith, but also walk in faith as well. And this is honestly for anyone who's new to faith or struggling in faith, or has been a Christian for a long time, or if you guys aren't even religious as well, you're more than welcome to also join us as well in our podcast episodes as well. If you have any questions, if you have any topics that wants to be talked about, or any ideas or anything that you want to share as well, feel free to leave them in the comments as well, and we'd love to read them and look through them and maybe even answer some of these questions. And so thank you so much, and this is Voices We Long For, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Voices.